Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortivada. In this video, we will learn about use action data. So till now, we have gone through use form actions and also use submit hook. Now we are coming across use action data. This is especially used whenever you want to submit a form and to handle some set of errors. So in that way, we can use this use action data. So how can we experiment this use action data? I completely recommend you to go to my previous two videos of React tutorials to understand what is a form action and also what is use submit, because that will be a dependency for this video. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. Here what I'll do is I'll try to create an action first. So what is my action? Let me go here. I want my action to be on top of my form. So here this is my form. So let me go here and create my action, and the action is form action, and let me go on to the top and create a function called as form action, and this will be an asynchronous data, and then it will receive some set of request and it will have this request. Now what we'll do is const name is equal to, I want to get the form data first. Instead of name, I'll use form data, and is equal to, I will get this request dot form data, and this is an asynchronous or a promise based. So let me use await. Now what I'll do is I'll get the name from this form data using getter method, form data dot get of name. So now I'll be getting this name and email. So let me get email is equal to form data dot get of email, and now let me return this as success, where it is equal to true. Just I'm treating this as a success request. Now what I'll do is I'll go into my form. So let me go into products. Inside these products, I would like to create a form, and it is coming from React Router DOM. Let me use a method as post, and now let me create a div with an input field, where my input field is having a name called as name and placeholder as enter name, and let me use some set of state on this. So let me go here, const form state comma set form state is equal to use state of, I would like to give a name which is empty by default and an email which is again an empty. So now I'll use this form state to get the value for this specific input field. So let me use a name, and I'll use on change event on top of this to get my event, that is nothing but event, which is having a set form state of, I would get my previous data, that is dot 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 form state comma, I have a name which is equivalent to that event dot target dot value. So I'll be getting this specific value and update my event so that this form field will be updated. So let me copy the same div and put it over here. I'll use email instead of name, and let me use email on top of this, and here enter email, and also here let me use name as email. So all these values were available. Now let me use a div and let me use a button, and the button is something like type button, and let me use an on click event, and that event will call some click handler. So let me create this click handler, copy this click handler, and inside this click handler we can write our main functionality. So let me use arrow function again, and inside this I can use the click handler. Inside this click handler, first I'll get all my state values. So console.log of my form state. So this form state should be sent into form data. So form data is equal to new form data, and this form data I will try to append my values. So form data dot append of, I want to give a name for this, and the name is form data of name or form state dot name, and then again I'm using a form data dot append, and this time my append value will be email, and let me use form state dot email. So I have this two form data, and now I will be using our use submit. So const useSubmit is equal to useSubmit off, and I will be using this submit to call my submit values. So now I can use submit, and the submit will receive this form data, and let me perform set of actions here. So actions can be anything. So let me use a method of post and then action towards slash products, because that is my current URL. So let me use products and save this. Now once I submit this, it will go into app.js. Here what I'll do is I'll get this email and name. Let me print that first, console.log name comma email, and save this. Now go here, we are not able to see the button. Let's check that. I'll use something like submit and save this. Now go here, I'm giving the name, I'm giving the email and submit. Now nothing is happening. Let's try to understand what's the problem, because we are not calling here. Save this and go here, refresh, give the name, give the email and submit. Now you are able to see the whole form and also the values inside your action. So now we are receiving the action. What I'll do is here I'll write some conditions. If name does not exist, then I want to add some errors. So const errors is equal to empty object, and now if the name does not exist, I want to add errors.name is equal to required or name is required. So whatever the error messages you want, you can hold on here, and if not email, then I will show that errors dot email equal to the name or email is required. And also I want to check one condition, if errors, or I can use something like if object dot keys of errors, if this errors dot length exist, then I want to return only that specific errors back. So let me use errors here. So now what I'm doing here, I'm checking the errors and I'm appending some set of keys over here. If that keys exist, then that means you have an error inside that particular form. So I'm returning the errors back. How to catch these errors? It is very simple to catch the error by using our new hook called as useActionData. So const action data is equal to useActionData. This is my action data. Now this action data will receive some set of errors. So let me use a div over here, and inside this div, if my action data dot errors exist, then I want to render some set of content. So let me use a fragment over here, and inside this fragment let me create a div, and here inside this I want to do some set of operations, like we will be getting an object. So I want to extract that object. To extract that object, I can use something like object.entries of action data dot errors. If that errors is received, it will be used inside the entries and it will create an array which is having a key value. So here my key value will be something like the field name or a key. You can use a key, that is name, and the value is like name is required. So message, I can receive these two values, and these values I can use to render in my UI. So let me use a paragraph, and inside this paragraph let me use a key is equal to key, and let me use a message. So this will loop and it will show you the content. So let me go here. Now I'm not entering anything. Let me click on this. Now you can see name is required, email is required. Where these required values are getting, it is getting from action data. Where this action data is getting the values, it is getting from the return value, whatever you are doing with this. For example, if I clear this off and give Sai an email, now you are not able to see any error messages. So whenever you want to see the error messages, then you can do all the calculations over here, and then you can return either errors or success. Whatever the errors you are seeing over here, you can capture them by using useActionData. To summarize, what is the purpose of useActionData is, whenever there is an action or a form action happened, whatever the returned data from that form action can be captured inside this action data. That can be captured inside this action data. That can be done by using a hook called as useActionData. Hope this gave you a clear and glance understanding of actions, useSubmit hook, and use action data. So that's how this works in React Router DOM. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.